Good morning, students. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is a human reproduction. So in this chapter, firstly we will discuss about male reproductive system. So let's begin it. As we know that humans are sexually reproducing unisexual organism. So we are calling them as a unisexual because in this case male reproductive structures and female reproductive structures are present in two different organisms. Male will have a male reproductive structures and female will have a female reproductive structure. Because of that we are calling them as a unisexual. And humans are viviparous. They are the viviparous because they give the birth young ones. If we see human reproductive system, so it includes a pair of gonads, reproductive duct and accessory structures. So these reproductive organs or gonads, in case of male it includes a testis and in case of female it includes ovary. So basically these gonad will form the gamete, and besides the gamete formations, hormones will be also secreted from this gonads. Okay, now we'll talk about the reproductive events. So reproductive events includes the gametogenesis, inseminations, fertilization, implantation, gestation and parturitions. So these reproductive events are very important, and these reproductive events should be in this same sequence. So if we talk about the gametogenesis, so gametogenesis, that means the process of formation of gametes. In case of male the gamete will be sperm, and in case of female the gamete will be ovum. Now the second event is insemination. Insemination, it is a process of transfer of sperm into the female genital tract. That means once the gamete has been formed, in case of male it is a sperm, now the sperm has to be transferred into the female body. So this process is called as a insemination. Now the third event is a fertilization. So fertilization is basically the fusion of male and female gamete. That means once the sperm has been reached into the female genital tract, it has to be fused with the female gamete, and this process is called as a fertilization, and this process leading to the formation of zygote. Now the fourth event is the implantation. And once the zygote has been formed, then it get developed into the blastocyst, and now that blastocyst has to be transferred into the uterus, and the further development of that blastocyst take place in that uterus, and this process is called as the implantations. Now the fifth event is the gestations. So this gestation is a embryonic development. That means in this process the embryonic development take place, and the last one event is a parturition. That is the process of delivery of the baby. So these events are very important, and these events should be in the same sequence. The first one is the gametogenesis, second one is insemination, third one is fertilization, fourth one implantation, fifth one gestation, and sixth is parturition. So these events should be in the same sequence. Gonads or the reproductive organs. So in case of male it includes a pair of testes, and in case of female it includes a pair of ovary. So this male reproductive system is basically located in the pelvic region. Now the question is, what is the pelvic region? So if we see the human body, it is basically divided into three parts: head, neck and trunk. So the lowermost part of the trunk is called as a pelvic region, and in this pelvic region male reproductive system is located. So this is the testis, and the testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch that is called as a scrotum, and this scrotum is situated in between the penis and anus. So this is the testis, and it is situated in scrotum. So scrotum helps in maintaining the low temperature of a testis, which is required for the spermatogenesis. So if we see the human body temperature, that is a 37 degrees Celsius. But for the formation of sperms inside this testis, it requires approximately 34 to 35 degrees Celsius temperature. And because of that, this testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch that is called as a scrotum. In adults, testis is oval in shape, and its length is 4 to 5 centimeter and the width is 2 to 3 centimeter, and it is covered by a dense covering. So this is the internal view of the testis. So if we see its internal view, it will have approximately 250 compartments that is called as a testicular lobule. So these are the compartments, and each lobules or each compartment contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. So these are the seminiferous tubules in which sperms are produced. So this is the internal view of the seminiferous tubules, and the seminiferous tubules is lined by the germinal epithelium, and this germinal epithelium is made up of two kinds of cells. The first cell is a spermatogenic cells and second cell is a Sertoli cells. So these spermatogenic cells will form the sperms, and these Sertoli cells, that is also called as a sustaincular cells, it will provide nutritions or it will nourish the sperms. This is the outside view of the seminiferous tubules, where the nerve fibers are located, blood capillaries are located, and Leydig cells are located. So these Leydig cells will secrete hormones that is called as androgens or testosterone. So this is the internal view of the testis, where we can see approximately 250 compartments that is called as a testicular lobules, and each testicular lobules will have a 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules. And if we see internal view of the seminiferous tubules, it is basically lined by the germinal epithelium, and this germinal epithelium is made up of two kinds of a cell. First one is a Sertoli cell and second one is a spermatogenic cell. So these Sertoli cell will provide nourishment to the sperms, and sperms are formed by the spermatogenic cell. And this is the outside view of the seminiferous tubules, where we can see the nerve fibers and blood capillary. Besides having the nerve fibers and blood capillary, it will have a Leydig cells, and these Leydig cells will secrete and synthesize androgens or testosterone, that is called as a male hormones. We have discussed about male reproductive organs, that is the gonads, and now we'll talk about the accessory duct. So male sex accessory duct includes the rete testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. The seminiferous tubules of the testis open into this vasa efferentia through this rete testis. This vasa efferentia will leave the testis and open into this epididymis, which is situated behind this testis. So this is the epididymis, which is a tightly coiled structure, and it is a 5 meter long. And if we see the epididymis, it is divided into 3 parts. The first one is a caput epididymis, the second one is the carpus epididymis, and third one is the cauda epididymis. So this vasa efferentia enter into this caput epididymis, and the spermatozoa that enter in this caput epididymis are non-motile. So if we talk about the function of this epididymis, so basically it serves as a site for sperm maturations and for the storage of sperm between ejaculations. So this epididymis leads into the vas deferens, and this vas deferens basically receives a duct from the seminal vesicles and open into urethra as a ejaculatory duct. So if we see the journey of a sperm, so from this seminiferous tubule, the sperm firstly will come into this retitestis, and from this retitestis, it will goes into this vasa efferentia, and from this vasa efferentia, it will come into this epididymis. So this epididymis is basically serve as a site for sperm maturations and for the storage of sperms. And when the sperms get mature, then it will come into this vasa deferens. This is the vas deferens, which is also called as a sperm duct, and it is arise from this chorda epididymis. So it loops around the urinary bladder, and it will pass through the seminal vesicle. So this one is the seminal vesicle. While passing through the seminal vesicle, it will receive the duct from this seminal vesicle, and after the receiving duct, it will be called as a ejaculatory duct, and now that ejaculatory duct will open into this urethra. So this is the urethra, which is arised from this urinary bladder, and this urethra is opened through this urethral meatus, and ejaculatory duct will open into this urethra. We have discussed about the accessory duct, and now we will talk about the accessory gland. So accessory glands include the seminal vesicles, prostate glands, and bulbourethral gland. So firstly we will talk about this seminal vesicle. So this seminal vesicle is a narrow long pouches with the muscular tissue on their wall, and the fluid that is secreted from this seminal vesicles, its pH is about 7.4, and it contains fructose, which serve as an energy source for the spermatozoa. Now the second gland is the prostate gland. So this prostate gland is situated around the first part of the urethra, and the substance that is secreted by this prostate gland, it is acidic in nature due to the citric acid, and its pH is around 6.5, and the prostatic secretions contain the substance which is important for the movement of the sperm. And the last gland is called as a bulbourethral gland, which is also called as a Cowper's gland. So this one is the Cowper's gland. So this Cowper's glands open into this urethra, and the secretions of the Cowper's glands is slightly alkaline, and it acts as a lubricant for the penis, and it also neutralizes any urine in the urethra. We have discussed about testes, accessory duct, glands, and now we'll talk about the external genitalia. So the penis is the male external genitalia. It is basically made up of special tissues that help in the erection of penis to facilitate insemination. So insemination, that means the transfer of male gamete into the female reproductive tract. So the enlarged end of the penis, which is called as a glans penis, and this glans penis is covered by a loose fold of skin that is called as a foreskin.